Have you ever been in a situation where you've just given a great presentation, a great talk, and you've been really flying through the question and answer period, you're answering the questions with ease, but then all of a sudden someone puts up their hand and asks you a really tough question, a real doozy. It's tough, right? These situations can really throw us off and can really damage our reputation and can do a lot of damage to a great presentation, otherwise great presentation, if we don't know how to handle it well. In this video, I'm going to share with you a very simple 3-step process called the C.C.R. process that will ensure that you can handle these tough questions much more effectively in a systemized manner and ensure that you give great responses, not doing any damage to your reputation. The first letter, C, stands for calm. And what this does is it shifts your mindset from one of being a reactive mindset to a responsive mindset. And there's a big difference between the two. Reaction or reacting is what we end up doing when we are not prepared, when we are acting emotionally, when we don't think. It's involuntary. Whereas responding is completely different. Responding is an act of volition. And by simply being calm, taking a moment, breathing, and pausing, we're able to effectively buy ourselves time and ensure that we respond in a manner that is much more calm than a reaction. The second C stands for clarity. And what this entails is just to gather a little bit more information so you can be much more clear, or to ensure that you are clear about what is being asked. And that will ensure that when you do in fact respond, which is the third step, you'll do so much more effectively and from a position of better information. And there's a couple things that you can do to clarify. You can ask them a follow-on question, something like, I didn't fully understand your question. Can you say it again, perhaps a little bit differently? Or can you expand on that a little bit more? Can you expand on your question a little bit more so I have a better understanding of what you're asking? Those are 2 question techniques. Then the other thing that you can do is simply to paraphrase what the other individual said. You could say something along the lines of, if I understand you correctly, you're asking me X. Is this correct? And this does a couple things. Number one is it shows the other person that you are actually indeed invested in listening to the question that they're asking. And number two, it ensures that you are both on common ground in terms of what the question being asked is. The R in CCR stands for respond. And what this entails is now that you're essentially bought some time, you're a little bit more calm because you're breathing and you paused. You gathered a little bit more information by seeking clarification. It is now time for you to respond based on the information that you received. And that's exactly what you do. Respond as best as you possibly can. But a very powerful tool to incorporate into that response is to establish rapport with the person who asked you. And you can do that by thanking them for the question. You can say something along the lines of, thank you very much, that's a really good question, thank you for asking, I'm going to do my best to answer it. And then proceed to answer it. And there you have it, a very simple 3-step process to ensure that you answer tough questions with ease. Calm, clarity, respond. As a knowledge worker, staying relevant and competitive in today's workplace is a challenge. Honing your skills, developing your skills, continuously growing is essential. And if you're somebody who wants to develop those skills, your communication skills, your leadership skills, your ability to navigate change more effectively, I can help. Now, if you're somebody who just wants to kind of touch your toes in the water, dip your toes in the water, the first place to start is my free ebook, which is called Stand and Deliver. And it's just essentially 12 strategies that will help you become a better communicator in any public situation you find yourself in. If you're somebody a little bit more adventurous who wants to go to that next level, well, I have an online course that I would challenge you to take. It is called Communication Essentials, and this has 25 videos that will help you become a great communicator in any situation, in any scenario that you have, and that is essential to remaining relevant and competitive. Or if you're somebody who just wants to accelerate their development, well then, that's where we can work together. Contact me at john@johngodoy.com and let's reserve a free 15-minute session to discuss your growth.